We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of changes in the program. A bunch of shit's been updated. All right, you guys can see I've got the change log pulled up. I'm on Hazard's main page, x3tinfinity.com. This is the most recent change log that just came out for GTA. He's got a list of updated features, things that have been fixed, what's been added. Bunch of shit's been added. We're going to go to the program. We're going to go through some of the stuff that's been done. First thing is the support for the 1.8 saves. Everybody had failure to parse saves. You couldn't re-roll your saves. You couldn't make story mode saves. You know, if we were going in and making adjustments in director mode to drop interior rides, that time advancement will change. When you re-roll your save, you'd pull it and you'd get failure to parse. You can see I've got 1.8 saves and 1.7 saves on the screen. I'm going to open a 1.8 one and it should open up. First thing I wanted to talk about, I just showed it a little bit, was the settings screen. Inside of your settings screen, if you go to edit color list, we have an updated color list. We just confirmed that things were selected or unselected. There is one thing that we did not change, however, and that's the chameleon paints. The chameleon paint registry that's in Save Editor right now is still original to when PlayStation 5 was released, so there's only 10 paints that will show selected. All of the other paints that have come with GTA Plus, if you want an updated color list, are going to have to be done. You can do it manually here. Now, I will do one. I have a character that's been on GTA Plus since the beginning. I have a registry kept over on this side, but I've never updated my personal color list. I have a very specific reason for doing that, and I kind of suggest that you guys do the same thing. Obviously, making scratch cars is a concern. I just suggest that you don't use any chameleon paints for your secondaries or your rim colors to begin with, and everything should be good. But there's also these diamonds. These were added during the last time, during the last update. The first portion of the house vehicle slot update, these were added. You could change your icons if you didn't know about it before. It might help you be able to see better. They're usually locked on white. I choose green or pink because they're super bright. You have to make a save. Once you close down, you'll see it load. All right. Settings screen, special thanks. We got Abstract Steve's added to the list this time because he helped me so much with the paint list, curing some of the past, making remedies of all the things that are good here. All right, so recent files, my 1.8 save I can open. No failure to parse error. Should be able to load up and make alterations as you wish. You shouldn't need to continue to relive the same moment in time using a 1.7 save if you were having issues doing so in the past. All right, now these last two updates have been all about the house slots, the strip club and Trevor's house, things about vehicles, and making sure that the modifications that we attempt to make with the program actually correlate to the modifications that we get in game, right? We had a lot of issues with horns and things getting stripped from vehicles. Things were reverting on vehicles. Maybe you were making alterations and choosing certain liveries for a weaponized vehicle set, and they weren't necessarily coming out on their own. We've made tons of alterations to those lists. He ran an AI script, I think, and got all the mod kits created so that they were accurate. And I verified hundreds of vehicles this go around, lots and lots and lots. So the first thing is the copy from quick mod menu, the color drop downs. The quick mod menu was something that was an addition that was brought back to Save Editor. It used to be a part of the old Save Editor. I actually like using this version to make cars on the fly. If I know exactly what I want to make and I just need to make donors or some things like that, you can keep a lot of the components similar and the same. Say, for instance, if you're just swapping through rides, but make quick changes to the vehicles. Now, a lot of vehicles at the house will merge, right? House slots merge. If you're overriding vehicle components, you guys know the old method of driving rides from the impound to the strip club. Obviously, that's something we do not need to do anymore, but there is one very important thing that you need to remember, and that's the ask to reset mods, right? So that's on the quick menu and that's on the regular menu when you're just working with the strip club. If you choose the vehicle here, or if you're going to your quick mod menu and deciding to choose a vehicle, if you just swap it out, it's going to ask you to reset all mods. Alright, now you're going to want to reset all modifications every time. And it'll clear things out, but we do have a max all upgrades. Yes, I would like to max all upgrades. And you can get all of the stuff back that's components. You still will have to go through your vehicle design if you do that. All right, now there is a way for you to overwrite vehicles and not reset all mods, but you need to be sure of your components and your modifications that you're using. You can see, I'll show you for an example, for instance, of the difference between the house slots and the regular garage slots are these regular garage slots have a little bit more control and memory to them. We have an advanced settings, advanced modifications we can view here. And we can also make alterations and changes to these locations if you double click on them, right? You can set your own numbers and your own preferences. You could run body styles to 255 or 0, right? All these little locations are ones that we could modify. And this has a full category Benny's list. It's an entire script for a vehicle slot. All alterations that could be made would be made, even if those components don't necessarily fit the vehicle. You can see I have a bunch of things that are zeroed out because we don't have a plaque or ornaments or nitrous for this vehicle, right? Because it's a Kuruma. But if I make this vehicle and I fully design it to the way that I want it to be, and it has certain modifications to it, let's say, for instance, this one has a livery on it and it has certain skirts on it and a certain spoiler that I've decided to design. All of these modifications and features are going to be logged here in the advanced settings for that slot, right? Well, the same goes for the house slots, but the house slots don't necessarily account for those zeros. They will hold on and they will hold modifications that were chosen to them. So this location, if I decided just to direct override it with the Komoda, now I have an entirely new vehicle, but I still have the exact same slot underneath that vehicle. And all the advanced modifications show the same numbers and components tied to that slot, right? So this vehicle will not have a shared identity. It would have attributes that would be attributed to that car that was on it before, right? And so at the house, at the strip club, if I'm just to take a vehicle and have a vehicle that's fully modded like this one, and I decided to go override it and say no, then I'm going to get a carryover of modifications, right? And you can see when I go back to these locations, I can see that nothing's selected. A lot of times if you load up into story mode in that state, your cars will appear broken. And although I could redesign these cars here and decide that I wanted to make these modifications, there still might be ones that are left out. And you might not necessarily get the modifications that you intend. It's an illusionary situation. It doesn't actually cause a problem for your cars, but sometimes you can get defaulted components if you're not actually intending on merging. This is a process of merging, not overriding, right? So you want to make sure every time you choose a vehicle, whether it's from the main menu filters or from up here, that you reset all mods every time. This will help you become more successful in control of your components as you drop them. You shouldn't have any reversions, and hopefully as you're loading your game saves, your game won't crash. Okay? Good habits to be in. Just a good habit to have every time. All right, view vehicle manufacturers. The view vehicle manufacturers is pretty awesome. If you guys look here in the middle of the bar of your screen, you can see that there's a little car on the list. And this list has kind of grown since the beginning, so we've got another option. And this is for making vehicles, right? If you're going to make cars, you want to make sets, you know what kind of vehicle you're going to make, click that button. It'll bring up a list of every vehicle by manufacturer in alphabetical order. So all manufacturers are listed. We can see what they are. For instance, recently I just made a Pegasi set and I pulled every Pegasi that's in the game. So you could go to Pegasi and it'll show you all the vehicles in order, alphabetical order from beginning to end. It splits them up by classes, sports classic, super, SUVs, what have you, all right? Now, as we're looking at this filter here, that's probably going to take us into our next thing, is the search filter by manufacturer through programs. So you could also go, like he has listed here on the changelog, make slash program in your filter, MAKE, do your equal sign, spell out your manufacturer, and it will search, automatically pop up all vehicles that are within that manufacturer. So you have two options to do it. You could type in this search equals sign, and find your rides, or hit the vehicle filter, find the manufacturer, pull up the list. We got every car that's in the list, okay? It's pretty nice. The search filter is a good one to get used to. This other version that I like here is the search for vehicle modification by mods. Now, I spent I don't know how many hours, hundreds of hours of my time playing GTA making cars on this program, but with the help of another program. All right, now a lot of times when I'm going to go make cars, let's say like, I just did the whole Redwood livery. Redwood livery. If you just search Redwood, it's not going to pop up because that's the make of the car. So you got the Redwood Gauntlet, right? But you could go mods equal Redwood, and it'll pop up every vehicle that has a Redwood livery on it. So these are all cars that could be categorized by livery. Every single vehicle that's in the Redwood livery now is on this list. I'll know that's all the ones that I need to make. And there's a bunch of ones that you could search. You could search Princess for Princess Robot Bubblegum, and it'll bring up anything that has Princess Robot Bubblegum. All the cars that are related to them search filters. See, back in the day, what I used to do is I used to have to go like, Redwood cigarettes, GTAV, and I'd go to the fandom page, right? And once the fandom page loaded up, we could go down and we could view all the cars, and I'd like make a list and type it out and all this nonsense to be able to get all the cars. Okay? Don't need to do that anymore. Don't need to do that anymore. It's all right here in the mods list. As long as you know what you want. You want Dollar Dollar because that's a special vehicle, hidden livery version for your set, your facility vehicles, your nightclub, your Akula, your AA. Everything will pop up. Nice and easy to make sets. And then you could fill out your registry of cars, each character as you go along. All right, nice and easy. There's a bunch of ones. Any mod that you can think of that's a mod will work. All these ones will work. All right, now there's also other search filters that are part of the special search filters, like house, for instance. You could search house and you'll get every vehicle that's a house next gen vehicle. All these cars that could have house components on them. Okay? Same thing for a Monitech. Every vehicle that's an Monitech vehicle, boom, you got it. You can make them all. All right? Got a whole nice set. Everything ready to go. The door icon on vehicles that have interior and trim. As I've been cycling through, you might have noticed some of these cars, they got the little door in the corner. Every vehicle that has that little door means that it shows trim color of some kind. All right, now it doesn't decipher where that trim color is shown on the vehicle or what it is on the vehicle, but it will mean that that interior color will pop off that vehicle somewhere, as long as it has that door. All right. It doesn't necessarily speak for all the accents in the game because there are a lot of other vehicles that will show accents and other layers. We have that on like us. That's going to be part of a separate thing, I guess. It's not on this list. Them accents are only really on like maybe 20% of the vehicles. Trims are the biggest thing. Most of the accents are the interior lights. If you're making custom designed vehicles out of the strip club the way that you're supposed to, then you're going to have the ability to run your interior color and your dashboard color for your donors every time. Make sure you're using clean components. Follow your check marks. Know that we got an updated color list, so everything should be accurate and true as to what it is right now. All right. Hidden vehicle search filters. Example, hazard, king cash. So if you search hazard in the vehicle search filter, it brings up a list of the OG's favorite cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 cars listed. The Buffalo STX, Buffalo X, Entity XF, and the T20. Those are the hazard rides. I was lucky enough to have my name added to the list. So if you search King Cash, you'll see a pic of my 5 favorite cars. There's quite a few other Easter eggs hidden within this, so hopefully you guys will have some fun fucking around and searching. It's a good deal. It's kind of cool. DLC links to supported DLC tabs. So that's something that's really cool. The little process that I showed just a second ago about how I used to have to go search up websites and look up to see what vehicles were supported for what livery, right? Right now, if you go back and you close your save, you'll have this supported DLC tab. All right, supported DLC. And when you open it up, there's a link. These are all links that you can click on for each DLC. All right, and as you can see, we can go down. And like the reason why this would be important for someone, the reason why this has been important for me through time is, let's say I am actually making modifications to cars, okay? And I have a very specific car I want to make. All right, and there might be something about that car. And researching history is a good idea, right? So you can go to the social club and it'll take you to the GTA Online Social Club. And this is typically stuff that was related to that update and all the stuff was going on. This is a cool little feature. Although for modern vehicles, you're probably not going to get a huge amount of information from there. The other side that I would suggest is the fandom page because, again, it'll show that heist, it'll show the list of vehicles, and if you're attempting to make your collection in order of every DLC that was released in a row, then you'll also get a drip feed list of vehicles that how they came out in, what order they came out in, typically all the pictures and stuff related to them cars too. All right, bunch of cool shit. Bunch of cool shit. Updated vehicle color list, various vehicle mod kits, 36 vehicles, various vehicle liveries, 14 vehicles. There were some vehicles that were missing from there that were added, some of the older street vehicles that had updated kits and things. We got those fixed. 36 model vehicles. Some of the ones with the arena war and the weaponized vehicles needed to be fixed. Fixed an issue with the vehicle filter bugging out. So the vehicle filter used to bug out. It shouldn't bug out anymore. The vehicle filter used to go blank. There was an issue where it would go blank after you would initiate something. Like right now I can click this and click off of it and all my vehicles should appear. You can go to your vehicle filter. He's changed the way the vehicle filter is listed. It used to show, like, say, the Clucking Farm Raid first, and then it would go from oldest to newest to the right. But now he's changed it to where it's just the newest update to the left, and then all the way to the right will go to the oldest. So it's back in time. That's a direct lineage of history of all of our DLCs, the vehicles that are attributed to them, in order, sequential order that they come in. All right. And so you shouldn't have any issues when you're cycling through and you're closing. It should automatically pop. Go to your vehicle filter, hit close. It should automatically pop. No more breaking and leaving you where you got to swap in between slots again to get it to reappear. All the bugs should be worked out with that. Vehicle horns for house vehicles not saving or loading right. Now, those vehicle house slots were like changing right off the bat, where you could go and you would choose Star Spangled Banner horn for both slots, or choose, Halloween horn for both slots, and you would check in the quick menu, which I do out of habit, just to make sure that it shows the actual horn. It wasn't listed before, but now we can see that if we make a change, it's there. I'll change it to the Halloween horn. Back off that menu. When I go back here, it should still list it, Halloween horn. So it's making changes quickly and easily. We should be able to tell right away that it's logging the saves, the changes. Same with the neon color. Say we go red, swap off that slot. We could check the quick menu. We should get our color to appear right away. Patriot smoke should lock. Now there was an issue before with the Patriot smoke. It was getting removed from vehicles when we were creating them. There is an alert that you'll get when you go into the tire smoke color. You can see mine's black and the Patriot smoke is locked, right? You can turn it off, you can turn it on. Shouldn't have no error saying enabled or disabled, okay? That's one of the features that was fixed as well. Now, issue with the extract and replace tooltip for house vehicles. There was an issue where you had to copy and paste and you couldn't extract and replace, but we should see now that if you got a vehicle made, it doesn't matter which way you go. You can make a vehicle here, You could design it. You could decide that it's fully done. Once it's done and it's ready to be saved, okay, you can take your vehicle and you can copy them mods directly, go straight to your strip club and paste it, and then just add your interior color that you wanted and your accent, right? Interior dashboard color, get your fully modified vehicle. Now after this vehicle is complete here, I could also extract it here and save the file. It should automatically bring up a save file type GTAV house vehicle and save. Okay. Now there is a difference between the GTAV house vehicles and say for instance this regular slot, extract selected, it should say GTAV vehicle. It's going to create two different file locations as you extract vehicles and replace. Okay, so this one, let's just say I extracted this vehicle right now. And this vehicle is going to be the car that I use as a custom RGB with my crew color. All right. And I have let's say you have a very specific crew color. And the OG way to make cars would have been a guy in game using his actual crew color to work out colors on the car to see what it looks like in game. So one of the features that I didn't know about until recently, and I think a lot of people don't know about, is there's an edit my crew colors list. And if you click this drop down box, it'll show a list of all of your crews that are in say on Rockstar Social Club. And you could tag all of your crews and make live crew edits, and they would still appear here in Save Editor. So if you worked out your custom crew color in game, and you found out that this is actually what you're going to use for your car, you could copy that crew color down direct, straight to the slot. All right, paste it. Oh, I didn't get that blue. Copy color, paste. Got my blue, set my color, run my custom. Okay, so my crew color car. Now let's say you're going to run a car that has an interior, and this crew color car that comes from an interior, you also want to drop a donor of the same kind, all right, so that you can get all the equal modifications to it. Or for instance, make another modifications out of a car that would be similar. Right, so I could fully design this jugular. I know it's the car that I'm going to end up dropping. My intentions would be have one with a crew color on it that's custom and worn in a different texture that it doesn't belong. But I know that I also want to drop a street car from the strip club that has interior and accent to use as my donor vehicle, right? So I'll design this car fully on this slot with my custom RGB and my crew color listed to it. You can either copy that vehicle directly and paste it, or you can extract this vehicle as part of your stuff for later. Now when you go back to the house slots and it's time to overwrite, when you go to replace, it's going to automatically bring up this window. And it should say GTAV house vehicles because that's what it's searching for. Alright, but I'm going to swap mine to GTAV vehicle. This is my custom variant. I'm going to choose that jugular. So although I've got that jugular here, I know when I drop it, it's not going to have the crew color attributed to it because it's on the strip club slot. So I'll go ahead and go back and make sure that I have a clean primary and a clean secondary and a clean pearl as I choose the interior that I want to bring in with that ride. Now these two cars should match each other exactly the same. Just one's a strip club ride and one's from the interaction menu. When you do your drop, you can bring both, take one to your magic slot, and direct flip. And you'll know you'll be passing all the same modifications off from one to the other. It's very important that we have the ability to copy and paste and extract and replace so that we can limit the amount of time that we spend having to recreate and redesign vehicles for each location. Since you don't have to load up the save to go to the impound or move vehicles from a garage in order to do so, you could just simply do it all right here by moving files around. Alright, so these are very, very good habits to know and to get into. Extracting selected vehicles, copy and pasting, moving things from slot to slot. That way you carry identities around, and when you're done, you can finally force your save, load your stuff up back through Save Wizard, get you back into story mode and check out your work. Alright? Issue with house vehicle location not saving. Let's load up Save Wizard. I accept. See, so we'll go to a car. Hazard. Make a little buffalo. Plate text. I'll throw a little something together right quick. Mutual green, green bright other. Run your secondary. My secondary is going to be green bright other 2. We're going to copy that color to the color and everything. I'm going to put it on the secondary as a warn. One dark green, neon color, respray pearlescent. Crew colors enabled. As a secondary only. Front rims, rear rims, rim color, tire design. Do all your mods, make your changes, do your front bumper, run your grill, run everything that you want off of this slot. Doesn't matter. Make your full design. You want to make sure that this thing is exactly the way that you want it to be when it's done, when it's complete, when it's finished. It's going to be the one that gets dropped with custom RGB, so it's not going to be clean out the gate. The crew color is going to be on it. We're going to need to flip the interior to get the guts matching right? So I've got this car designed. I know what it is. I know what I want it to be. We're going to copy that vehicle directly, throw it straight on the strip club slot, paste it. Paste that vehicle over it, hit it with the interior color that we want for it. Run the dashboard color. Everything should be locked. Alright, everything should be locked and matching. Force your save. Save wizard. Alright, I'm just going to load up a save to show. Because to show. It's nice to have everything fixed. Everything's rolling smoothly. I've dropped rides for the last week solid, just like rolling, kind of running the idea that everything's fixed, and I have had no issues. I've dropped special vehicles. I've even made nonsense vehicles. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen I post pictures of the big old monster trucks lifted and modded, rolling around and things like that recently. I've just been messing with stuff and making sure that everything's right. RC tanks, RC Bandito, bikes, trucks, cars, everything, what have you. Alright. Now you see that modded car that I showed up I put here right now is here. Okay, you see it's here. There's obviously no custom RGB on it. My secondary is olive army green. It's worn, but it's a full donor component car. Right, it has every single thing in it that I need. It's an exact replication of the car that I have in director mode. When I go into director mode, you call your other car out. Okay, boom. I've got my custom one I can drop, and I've got an exact replica of it on the house that's my donor. So I take this one in, I drive it straight to my magic slot and store it custom automatically. Right, as soon as it's on my magic slot and stored, this other street car goes on the top of it. Disconnect my internet. Boom, flipped. 2 cars merged together. Take this one and turn it into whatever you want once it's done. Whether it's direct merging or Beth merging. Right? Everything's good. Now there's another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to drive this right now. And this is something that I wanted to talk about right now because it's really useful for everybody with the circumstances that are online. All right, and I'm going to show this in the program and where you can control it as well. All right, now inside of story mode, let's exit. I gotta go back to story mode. Inside of story mode, part of your access that you have to your character is a huge range of special vehicles, okay? We have a gigantic range of special vehicles. You know, ones that we can buy from the website, ones that come from Warstock Cash and Carry, your helicopters and your planes for your hangar and your helipad, or perhaps the boats for the boatyard, right? And even in the game, there's Easter egg kind of cars that you can obtain from races. We get the Pisswasser and the Sprunk Buffalo and the Redwood Gauntlet and the Dominator, right? These vehicles are listed as special vehicles can also be collected here, right? Special vehicles can be collected here. So part of your garage listing is this special vehicle list that we have. And this special vehicle list is additional of our director mode list. All them other vehicles that you see in your director mode list, 20, 30 cars, okay? Now these cars are part of your collection, but they're logged separately. All right, now you can see like right now I have a car here. But if I go to the corner and I go to my special vehicle list, you can see I have a couple of the cars selected right now. My faction, a Kuruma, a Bifter, and a Vader. All right. Now this list is pretty cool, actually. This list is pretty cool because this list helps us right now. All right, this list helps us have additional vehicles in our collection that we don't actually have to have stored inside of our garages, taking up space. Okay. So you see, I'm going to go back into director mode right quick. Those lists of special vehicles that were inside of my garage, they'll also appear here. You see, I just have a couple of regular cars and then I have some planes. There's 25 listed, but at the very bottom of the list is where those special vehicles go, okay? So I had that faction, Kuruma, Bifter, Vader, right? Those four were chosen. So they're at the bottom of my list. So when you enter into director mode, instead of hitting down to request a vehicle, or say it's the second car drop and it's the vehicle that you're about to hover over to request out, right? We could have a personal vehicle as that Faggio, or you could hit up and choose another vehicle. Okay, so I'll show you how to be in control of that right now. Video capture. Okay, this list here. When we go to our garage, let's open this up all the way, right? We have our cars. Obviously, you guys seen I had some other cars in my list, right? I got that Mesa there. Everybody right now has got their trusty Faggio locked in the slot, okay? And these is one of the 21, one of your 21 saves. With things moving over to next gen the way that they are, it's going to be very important for you to make sure that you've got all 21 vehicles stored, the vehicles that you want them in. It'd be much nicer not to have to sacrifice a slot, right? Be much nicer not to have to sacrifice a slot. So in this listing, when we open up our save editor, you'll see I'm on garage, right? Obviously, because I want to be in control of my garages. But if you go to unlocks, okay, your unlocks has another listing, right? You can go to vehicles. And in the vehicles listing, it's going to show you all the stuff that you have available to your character. And this is going to be all the modifications into the workshop and stuff, right? Things that you have unlocked as the progression of the story mode goes along. So you can early unlock all that stuff. But then there's a huge list of vehicles in a row. All these vehicles. Bunch of story mode vehicles. These are all like your street cars, NPC cars. There's DLC stuff that's added to it too. It's a huge list of vehicles in this registry, right? And so since it's in alphabetical order, you can go find like, well, it goes by classes too. It'll split class and then go in order, same as it would on the regular list. You could find your Faggio, right? And it just shows the Faggio. But if you hit X, you'll click and you'll see that little circle. So now I have a Faggio stored inside of my special vehicle list. And it will appear on that save. And you could make selections for any one of these vehicles, however many you wanted to choose. In our situation, we probably wouldn't want to choose very many, but you can choose a lot. You can choose a shit ton. If I'm not mistaken, there's an alert after 126 vehicles, the menu will not work. That's why it says 5 of 126. After 126, it won't work. So this is a shit ton of extra additional vehicles that we can add to our list. And another portion of this list that is good, right, is outside of the modded car game that you're making with your regular garage locations. Okay, we're making regular garage location. There's a bunch of default spawners in the game that were removed from the game. Cars that are no longer in the game, right? And you can keep a registry of some of these cars locked inside of this menu and bring default versions into online right away, even if they're street versions, ones that you know that you'll be able to merge to later and create modded variations for yourself. So this is just another way for you to power pack your collection and make the opportunity for yourself one that is worth taking over. If you're going to be migrating saves off to new gen, you want to make sure that that save has everything possible on it that can be done. And so this little collection of vehicles added to your save is a good portion to that. And the other side that I like to do doesn't really serve a purpose on this save right now, but you can do your director mode. You can do your shortlist actors. You can log all 10 of your shortlist actors inside of your director mode with customized outfits. I have all 10 on this save. They're already locked away. That's another good thing. Now that's none of that's been updated, but that shit's there. All right, cool. Vehicle packs, vehicle setup, mod kits are done. Horns and everything's fixed. We spent shit tons of time on them horns. Change log, everything. House vehicle location not saving. House vehicle location saved. We showed it all. We loaded it up. We showed how to drop a donor real quick and pull your other car that's clean. We went through all the features in the list. One thing that I want to do say real quick before I get off this live is that we had a lot of help. I had a lot of help from the Kings. AB, homeboy AB, he was on the other side working the program that was broken while I was working the one that's hopefully working to make sure that all the changes were worked out. Also got the clean interior colorless from your man Don DeMarco. Yanked the cord. He just dropped every single clean interior into online for me, which was awesome. And Steezy, Abstract Steez added to the color list. This update has taken, I think, like 6 weeks now for it to be completed. It's been a long time coming. It's been a shit ton of time. We're gonna log back to this here real quick. What up, Twin Hype? Alright, y'all. I'm dipping out. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Hope you guys enjoy the update. Spend a lot of time getting down. Run some street cars. Follow me on Twitter. Shout out to your man Hazard. Go check him out on Twitter, on YouTube. Make sure you make an account on x3t-infinity.com. This whole thing for GTAV Save Editor is a lot deeper. I still like to use the MP overlay editor right here in order to do character transfers for modded components on outfits. There's vehicle shares, there's stuff inside, and always stay on top of the most recent update because that's going to be the place to see it. Obviously, as you can see, posted an hour ago as soon as it hit and released. So if you're not following your man, you're fucking up. Appreciate you guys. As always, be safe. Have a great day, everybody. It's your man Cash is King, and I'm gone. Peace.